opinions, things like that. I try and find the popular opinion and twist it just to piss people off.
I love it. I love it. Well, anyway,
super lit troll.
Well, anyway, I am so excited. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It must be Saturday morning and I know our guest is from the other side of the pond, but we'll get there in a second. But welcome to Cafe BTW, a morning gaming coffee podcast. I'm Andy, a.k.a. Love Retro BTW and Cafe BTW on TikTok. And speaking of TikTok, I have a really awesome retro community friend from that place, and he's got some really fun stuff to talk about, and it's Super Lit Mario, all the way from the UK, my friend. Good afternoon. Right?
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I am doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've got a coffee. I didn't know if you had an alcoholic license for your cafe, so I thought I'd just stick with the coffee.
We don't have alcohol mixed in yet.
No.
But anyway,
no, cool.
I love. I mean, you're not full cosplay right now, but it's really good to see you. Thanks for joining me on the podcast, man. There's a lot to talk about here because today's topic obviously is perfect for you because it's the evolution of Mario. We're going to dig into that. But before we do, I always like to ask the question, how did you get into retro video games? Like, give me a little bit of a background on your love of video games in the first place.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to do this in my normal voice, just to freak people out.
This is your normal voice.
This is my normal voice.
I love it.
So where do we begin? I guess in a very long, distant past, 1984, my parents came home. Being British, the ZX Spectrum was like a big thing over here, and they brought one home. I didn't know what computer game or video games were. I was 3 years old. And that was my first introduction, and seeing these games sort of losing interest as well with the loading times. It sometimes take 90 minutes to load a game.
What was the name of the system that you had? The Spectrum?
So it was the ZX Spectrum. So it's like Sinclair Spectrum. It's I'm using my phone as the camera.
I'm gonna pull it up.
There we go. That's the one. So you had an external cassette deck that you'd load the games through. It had rubber keys. You had all these different bits and pieces. It ran at 48K memory, not picture quality. And it was awesome. I loved it. There we go. So yeah, mine was the 48K. That's the one.
Wow.
So you got the external.
That's retro.
Deck. Yeah.
And what was it like? Like, can I ask you, because you're from the UK? Like, what was it like buying games in the UK as a kid? Like, what were the main stores there? Like what was the culture like for video games in the UK?
It was quite strange because you had your main retailers like Toys R Us.
So you did have Toys R Us in the UK?
Yeah, we had Toys R Us. I had one about a mile or two away from my house. So every Saturday, my mum would take me and buy a toy or something. We'd just go and have a treat, and then we'll go to a McDonald's across the road. I'll have a Happy Meal or something. It was great. But of course, you got all the morning cartoons and everything. I'm going off on one now.
No, dude, that's all part of it.
But yeah, that was the whole kind of retro, like the 80s experience of you've got your cartoons. So you'd have Super Mario Brothers cartoon or Thundercats, Real Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles. Although they were called Hero Turtles over here, and I hated that. They should have been, Hero just sounded really weak. It should have been Ninja sounded way cooler.
So as an American, it's interesting to hear that a lot of the shows you mentioned are all like, basically American cartoons. But were there any British nostalgic cartoons, now that we're on that topic?
There were.
Danger Mouse was one I knew, right?
Yeah, there's Danger Mouse. There's a Count Duckula, so he kind of looked like.
Oh, Count Duckula was a UK based show. Yeah, you're right, I guess.
Yeah, which was fine, but you didn't really have like a like much merchandise attached to the UK TV shows and cartoons and things. So with the American ones, you had like the toys, uh, the bases, the castles, and Ghostbusters HQ, things like that. You didn't get anything like that with the UK cartoons. They mainly made like TV programs, like live action, really kind of very British, and not very marketable in terms of like you wouldn't want a toy of super gran. So it was like a grandmother in a kilt with superpowers, which sounds kind of cool, but I don't think America really cared much for it. I
Biff,
didn't
Biff,
really, but
Biff says
uh,
Super Grand wasn't a cartoon, but I
no,
loved
that
it. But I
yeah.
loved it.
So that's what I'm saying. They had a lot of live action stuff over here, which was cool. But as a kid, you've got the whole package of the cartoon, the toys, things like that, and also the video games that were also attached, mainly made by LJN, which we don't want to talk about.
We don't want to talk about. Well, but
No,
obviously, did you end up getting like a lot of? Were you kind of like me, where you just grew up with the video game generation, and you would get games your whole, just the whole generation from the '80s into the
yeah,
'90s, all that stuff?
yeah, pretty much, and yeah. So I mean, there was the Spectrum, but my first gaming console was the Sega Master System. So again, in the UK, Sega was quite big. Nintendo were, but Sega had a bit more presence. And I think with my Master System, it came with the 3D glasses, the sort of the light phaser, a couple of controllers, built-in games, which you didn't really get with the Nintendo. And I think my dad, there you go, you got Hancock holding the Master System too.
Yeah, I love
So
Metal
yeah,
Jesus too. Shout out to both of these guys
Metal Jesus is probably the first gaming YouTuber
that you
I really got
followed.
into.
He's been
Yeah,
around for quite some time. He's really cool. I met him. I met him at E3 like 4 years ago. All right,
oh
not
wow,
not like I like hung out with him. I just said, "Hey, nice to meet you, Metal Jesus. Love your work and
you're under
stuff."
the same roof as him. That's
He
amazing.
was he's a tall guy, just like he looks like on the show, and he's a really nice guy. And he
Mm,
knows his shit, and he's a great
yeah,
collector. Great collector.
yeah. He lives in the. If I was to move to America or
Seattle.
revisit, yeah, man. Again, music, and when you watch his videos, you've got all the huge gaming stores. We've got nothing like that over here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
That
going back
stinks.
to the gaming stores, you used to be able to go into a corner shop and buy games for a Spectrum or an Amstrad or a C64 or the Amiga, the Commodore Amiga. So I used to get a lot of my games from a little shop around the corner from my house, like really cheap,
That's awesome.
um, or from a market where you'd buy kind of pirated floppy disks for the Commodore Amiga. That wasn't my doing. That was my dad being, you know, careful with money, should I say? But the real like Sega Master System, that was incredible. It came with Double Dragon and Outrun and Afterburner, so I had this incredible first hit of these arcade ports, um, and I couldn't put it down. I loved it. I would still go back to the Spectrum sometimes, and then I moved on to like a Commodore Amiga. But it wasn't until I saw Sonic the Hedgehog. Like ironic now. I'm going to take this hat off. I'm going to cover this up.
Why weren't you
um,
Sonic lit or super lit Sonic? Like, why weren't you super lit Sonic?
um, he hasn't got a mustache.
I guess that's true. It's hard to cosplay Sonic, really.
It is. I do have a costume. I've got the costume here, and it's absolutely awful. But I mean, basically, Sonic the Hedgehog, Street Fighter. You could get. Street Fighter came a bit later, but Sonic the Hedgehog was the reason I wanted a Mega Drive and go for the upgrade. But then I had a Game Boy and playing Mario Land, Super Mario Land 1 and 2 on that, and I was like, oh, I want an NES. I saw kids playing Super Mario Brothers, the first one, in a shop, and they were doing the level 1, 1, 2 cheat where they'd go on the top and run across to the warp zones. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And playing Ninja Turtles, the first one, which is ridiculously hard. I still can't pass the water level.
That is hard. Biff has a question for you. Did the UK try to utilize the blow into cartridge technique, or was that a North American life hack?
You know what? Before the internet, and it was just a natural thing. We weren't really influenced by anyone other than you running out of ideas to try and get this game working. You would do anything to get this game working.
Yeah, so the blow in the cartridge
so
was universal.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was no, hacks on. There was no YouTube to learn how to get these things working. You just did what you could. Any extreme, throwing it out a window to see if maybe it would shake the dust out of it when it's spinning. That's not where I've influenced throwing games out the window.
Yeah, well, I guess throwing games out the window kind of segues to your character. And I want to get into this. How did this all? Okay. So just so everyone knows, Super Mario, you just hit, and I have it up here. You just hit 2 million, right, on TikTok. And what? First of all, let everyone know a little bit about what you do on TikTok with Super Lit Mario. Tell me a little bit about this character that you created.
So basically, Super Lit Mario. I don't know where he came from. He just. He's not the Mario that everybody knows and loves.
I would say that you teeter on a little bit on the adult humor side with Mario, right? You're a little adult.
Yeah. So for example, you've got that one. When I started it, I bought the costume because I had an idea in my head. I was playing Mario Kart on the Switch with my kids, and I had a projector screen up, so we're all sat looking at this big screen, and it's loud and going off, and I shouted, "Let's go!" And I thought I'd only just sort of discovered TikTok and had seen this flip the switch trend where flip the switch and then you the people swap costume clothes or whatever. And I thought, it'd be quite cool to do one that's like where I'm playing Mario and then I flip a switch and then I flip into Mario. And the costume arrived 3 weeks later from eBay. Just turned up and it's like, right, okay. When I finished work, I was working from home. And it was obviously we're in a lockdown as well with COVID. So I had all this time and I thought, right, I'm just going to do this video, start a new account on TikTok because I had a personal one and it had everything I did was like 0 views. I put so much effort into these videos that no one saw them. And I thought, right, start a fresh one. Maybe because it's such an old account or just battered, it's just broken. We'll start a new one. And then I did that video and it had something like 500 views in the first few days. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. So I did a video the next day and I had no idea what to do. I thought, lots of people dance on this thing. I'll just do this horrendous dance. It's not actually on my TikTok anymore. I had to delete it.
Why did you delete it?
Well, basically, I had my account taken down in January, and they removed 400 plus videos.
What happened?
I don't really know.
Is that a long story? And by the way, the Charlie D'Amelio slime puke video made me laugh so hard, dude.
Oh, thank you. That just. These videos, just like if I see something like that, I'm like, all right, I've got to throw Mario in because I used to do a lot of these Mario versus videos against Logan Paul, 6ix9ine.
You would engage with, which I think was really smart. You would engage with the big guns on TikTok, the big guns.
Yeah, and that's it. And TikTok didn't like it. So
is that why? The reason, oh my god!
So they used to take them down, not initially, not to begin with, but later on. They started finding they just found every video I did just like offensive or something and then they would actually put it back up.
They're very they really care a lot about like community guidelines when it comes to like if you are being like if you're like you can make fun of people, but when you make fun of people, TikTok, you got to toe a line with TikTok, right? It's really interesting. Like I noticed that, you know, and you know me, I'm just like, I do clips and stuff and I post like nostalgia. Never once has TikTok really gone after me. I mean, I'm going to knock on wood because I think that my content for the most part doesn't teeter on any controversy. And not to say that
No,
you doing
mine's
controversy.
too much.
No, but that's good. Like that makes your character so cool is that you are kind of like, no one sees Mario this way, you know, like I
No,
love it.
exactly.
I love it.
That was kind of where I wanted to take it. So I had no idea what to do with the account, and then
So they didn't
there was
ban you or anything. They just suspended you for like a little bit.
well no, they took the account down. They put it back up after a few hours, and they'd removed over 400 videos.
So they must have been
so-
like, all right, pull that guy's account down. Let's get rid of all those videos, and then he can have his account back. Is that what they did to you?
Well, yeah, pretty much. But they took the first 400 down. So I
Wow.
was desperate to try and get my account back into shape. I only just hit 1 million. So I started deleting accounts, videos, and the first few videos had to be taken, like deleted, in order to get my account working again. Then I had it taken down again, and then all the videos they had removed went back up. So
That's weird.
It's been really strange, and it's acting a bit strange again now. So
have you ever talked to them? Have you ever been able to contact like their support team, then ask them why?
Yeah. So I've had emails from them. So in March, when they took it down a couple of times in the same week, I emailed them. They kept banning me as well. So I'd be banned. I'd be in TikTok prison, and I'd be getting arrested while in prison. So they banned me 5 times whilst I was banned.
So they banned your bans? How do you ban someone when they're already banned? I don't
exactly. How do you arrest someone when they're in prison?
Crazy.
And then and basically they emailed me one evening out of the blue to say your account is back up. So I posted a video, and within 90 minutes, automation. It's not really a human like a human fault at all. Well, it is kind of because they programmed it. But within 90 minutes of receiving the email to say you're unbanned, I got banned again. And then they did come back to me to say, look, we're really sorry that we found an error on your account. We're currently working on fixing it. You will be back to normal. I've been really good up until about 4 weeks ago. I had a video taken down, which shouldn't have been taken down, but they didn't like it. And then 4 weeks later, like last weekend, they took a video down of me making a KFC console.
They took that video? Oh, they took that video down? Wow.
And it's still under review. It's been under review for 8 days now. I've deleted it, but my appeal is still pending. So with regards to that, my discoverability drops off. So I was getting quite a few followers per day. But since then, it has slowed down a bit. And then they took another video down where I pretended to be quitting my plumbing job to become a fake taxi driver. If you're not aware of fake taxi, I'd maybe Google it later. Don't look at it now. You'll get your account banned.
Okay, no, I'm not going to look at it now. Don't make me look at it.
No, don't look at it now. So yeah, Mario is going to become a fake taxi driver. But yeah, it's adult themed, very adult. But yeah, with regards to Mario, the character just kind of, I kept trying things. After the first week, I did a Tinder video. I had seen somebody else do a Tinder, and I thought, oh, I'll do it as Mario. And then all of a sudden, that video blew up, and I did Mario versus Bowser using videos from YouTube, like a VR 360 effects videos. So I was screen recording it and then put myself in front of it in the green screen. And I thought, right, I can maybe do these Tinders and do like Mario versus battles against characters you wouldn't necessarily ever see Mario against. Stuff like Mario versus Among Us or Thomas the Tank Engine, Teletubbies, stuff like that. And then I did a video of burning and throwing away a pizza with pineapple on it, and then I progressed from there doing cooking videos, and then became more Italian. I got more of an Italian following. I think the most of my followers at the time, I think a quarter of my followers were Italian. It's dropped down now. It's United States who are the most, which I love. And people thought I was from America, which I absolutely loved because I would love to have been from America, like be American and live in America, stuff like that. And when people thought I was American, I was like, yes, this is so cool. And then it slipped that I was British, and I was really nervous at first, but people still sort of stuck by me a little bit, which is cool. Bringing in the Fortnite hate, stuff like that. And then with these Tinders, I just wanted to try and, I didn't want to make them just the same thing. I just wanted to make an event of each thing and make it more and more ridiculous. And and this is all within lockdown and COVID stuff. I've got so much to do out in the real world with Mario in public, but it's just getting the time and the safety to do it. You know, I want to go up to somebody's head and do Tinder on the top of their head or on their lap, or like move their food out of the way in McDonald's. I'll buy them a new one afterwards, but you know, clear their space and put my games down and just do a Tinder there, stuff like that. And it's all coming. But
that's cool, man. I appreciate it, but I see now that we're talking about it, I see, you know, I see it's an interesting topic about how strict TikTok really is, because not only are you sometimes making fun of people in a fun way, obviously, you are representing a brand in a derogatory way that's not the way that it's presented normally. But I feel like that maybe TikTok's a little bit strict on this. Like, I don't understand. This surprises me in a lot of ways. You know, I didn't know this, by the way, till you told me that you were getting these bans. I didn't realize it.
It's crazy. It's like 1 month on, 1 month off. So like 1 month on, I'd be getting loads of views and really like building some good momentum, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from me, and then it comes back gradually. So it's strange. They have their thing to be, you know, a safe platform for.
It's their algorithm, I think, that keeps taking you down probably, and then they're just you know, they're like, oh shoot, we keep getting this guy banned, so we got it, because like. That tells me you've been banned this many times that they would usually kick you off a platform. But
I stood my ground.
No, but it sounds like that a lot of times the algorithm kind of pulls you off when maybe they see it and they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have pulled them off because of that, you know? So
I mean, I always appeal of videos when it's taken. I used to get one taken down every couple of days. And it got to a point where the videos weren't violating anything, but they were just doing it, and I'd appeal it, and then they'd come back and they'd say, oh, sorry, yeah, you can have it back. So they'd put it back up. So for example, I was doing a Sonic the Hedgehog power up Tinder as Sonic, and then as Mario, because Sonic's gloves were too big and he couldn't pick up the paper. And they took it down within like an hour.
Wow.
Accusing me of integrity and trafficking followers. Yeah.
And trafficking followers? What are you...
Yeah. And it's like, dude, Sonic the Hedgehog is just saying yes or no to the shield, whether he likes his shield or like his fast boots, you know. But they put it back up, and that was fine. But there's some things where they've like the introduction of fireworks in my videos was cool to begin with. So I don't know if you saw, it's the one I've got with like the most likes.
I might have
attached. I put a copy of Fortnite on a firework, and it went off, and that was fine. Or like you've got the one there with the pizza, that was fine too. But then I've done some where they've taken it down due to dangerous acts. To be fair, one of the fireworks came flying towards me, and it had Super Mario Brothers the movie on it. So they are looking out for the safety of their audience, thinking I may be like, you know, this influencer.
I think a YouTube, like you could put this on a YouTube and they won't give you any problems. But I think TikTok, like I think the reason it's happening so much is that, and I don't know if it's a terrible thing, TikTok really cares about their community, it seems, you know, more than any other social media platform I've seen before. They're very strict about policies and keeping like good on their platform. So I understand, but maybe they're thinking the
Yeah.
fireworks are a little bit dangerous. That's why,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. They care about the audience, not the actual creators themselves.
Sometimes,
Yes,
yeah, it seems that way,
you know,
right?
yeah. But then there's I don't know if you've seen TikTok Jesus on
We will now.
TikTok. Yes, yeah. If you search Scotty Wartooth, he he's just hit over 5 million
What's
followers.
his name? Scotty Wartooth?
Yeah, all one word.
What?
Um,
Okay.
and he gets his videos taken down. He's been banned so many
We'll
times
go to his
for no reason
Instagram.
as well. And he is excellent. And in fact, he's very local to me. He lives about 20 minutes away.
Because he dresses up as Jesus. So he's the Jesus version of you. Is that what you're saying?
I guess so. Yeah, he's not very sweary, but he gets a lot of he gets many bans and videos taken down
Probably because
for no
he's
reason.
playing Jesus.
More than likely, you're going to have people offended. I did a video of me throwing a Osama bin Laden DVD game, and that was taken down, and then it was put back up. And or when I put a Hitler DVD in the oven, that was taken down, put back up, taken down, put back up, stuff
Jeez.
like that. But actually, the very first video I had taken down was Mario versus Adolf Hitler. And I'd step into a DeLorean and go back in time to take him out. And that's on YouTube. And that's been up on YouTube for ages. And then the next video they took down, that was me versus Kim Jong-un. And I thought, we'll take out some leaders. We'll get a bit political. And then I stopped. And then I thought, we'll do Trump and then Boris Johnson. They stayed up.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's strange. It's just finding, creating enemies, pretty much anyone as an enemy.
Well, you're not my enemy, and I appreciate you.
No, absolutely not. No,
I
absolutely.
actually like this topic because I'm a big TikToker and I'm very much a part of that community, and it's interesting to hear this side of it. I think that was a great topic, to be honest with you. And
absolutely.
let's I guess. Wow. I think there was a lot more to unfold with you, and I'm really glad to have you on the show. I think
Cool.
I think it's important to talk about those things because there's something that I have to tell you. Right now, I am suspended on Twitter, my original Twitter. You know why? Because a DMCA music strike from 2 years ago. So I'm being punished for like some tweet I shared like copyright music on, and 2 years later they decide to pull down my account. And I've been it was a whole uproar because you see the content I put up just harmless retro video game content, right? My job is to make people like remember things, and that's it. And like Twitter is punishing me, and I haven't been able to talk to anyone. I've like tried to get through to people at Twitter. So I just made my new account, which all my community has been supporting. So it's kind of been cool to see my new Twitter. But dude, I'm going through the frustration that you're going through, but on a different level. And I'm not even doing anything racy. I'm not doing anything crazy. And
you get it on all platforms. Anything, I try and avoid using real music.
I know, but this was like 2 years ago when like Twitter doesn't monetize. I don't make money off of Twitter, right?
No.
So there's like no reason to punish me, So
absolutely,
that's what I mean.
I don't understand that at all.
Now TikTok, we're getting the creator fund, right? I don't know if you're in the creator fund. That affects you because TikTok's saying I'm gonna pay you, but you got to follow these rules. Twitter never paid me a dime of anything, So
no, that was really bizarre. I actually had a video taken down on my personal Instagram due to the same reason. I didn't get suspended.
No, but that's the thing. Instagram, they're just like, hey, they slap you on your wrist, right? Instagram, they're like, hey, stop that. And then that's it. That's Instagram. So they're all different.
I just don't understand that. Yeah, let me look into that for you, because basically with the whole bans and things like that, I've taken to LinkedIn. I think it's probably the most important social media platform
Oh yeah, I use
that
LinkedIn.
exist. Yeah, because you can find instantly Twitter employees,
I know, but
TikTok employees,
the
and
issue
it's kind of reaching out to them.
the issue there though is that like I don't want to come across like first of all I work for a company like I don't mean to sidetrack this conversation but this is perfect time to talk about it because you're talking about
Yeah,
bands. I represent a nonprofit. I work for a nonprofit with influencers in the space. I do a lot of good, and I use my Twitter to interact with other streamers, support their campaigns and all
yeah,
this stuff. So they have hindered me as a tool, but I feel weird like reaching out to them. And like at this point, I'm doing the other way. I'm like, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna make my new account. I'm gonna just move forward. If you guys want to punish me, well, screw you. I'm just gonna move forward and be done with it. So that's what I'm doing. But you're right. I could DM them or something. But
yeah.
I mean,
Just out of principle. I
yeah,
mean, a new account I think is probably a good thing. It's a fresh start. The algorithm
it kind of
will
is a
pick
fresh.
up on
Can I tell you
that.
something? I've been on Twitter for years, and the fact that I made a new account has made life feel a little bit better on there. It's like cleaner, it's like a fresh start. So you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah,
worth doing it, sticking to it.
yeah. Absolutely. I would fight my corner with regards to the other one, just out of principle.
Yeah.
I don't like things being left unfinished like that, or unjustified. But definitely a new account. The it's a new like the algorithm will be kind of fresh for the account as well. That's why I started a new TikTok and where how Mario formed. It was going to just be a personal account. I'll do this one video as Mario,
And
and then
then
I'll
you're
just
gonna
make
do like other
TikToks.
stuff.
And then I thought, actually, no, let's do this Mario thing a bit more. And yeah, just over a year later, I'm still doing it. But Creative Fun's cool. That was introduced to me in September last year, and it's been very kind. I see videos where people are saying, "Oh, I've earned not very much from it," but I think I've been very lucky that I've had videos do what they've done.
That's great, man.
Um,
I mean,
so it's kind of cool.
I love it. I think you should just keep on plowing away. And I think what we should do real quick is like I wasn't expecting to talk so much about platforms, but honestly, this is a podcast. I think that was an important topic to talk about since I'm going through it personally. So let's quickly jump into obviously you chose Mario as a character because you probably grew up loving Mario, I would imagine, right? You
Absolutely.
yeah, so
More than Sonic. I know I said about discovering Sonic, but once I got into the
I
Mario
love
games,
Sonic too, trust me.
I've yeah, they're both great, but Mario has a bit more quality about him.
Here he is. Here he is. And
There's the man.
when you look at him, and this is the Wikipedia of him, when you look at him, it's kind of funny. It's like he is a universally recognizable character in the world, right? People
Yeah,
know, but I would never expect this Italian plumber to be, such a universal mascot, but it's all because of this guy,
yeah.
this genius right here, Sagiri Morimoto,
Probably
which
hates me if you see my
probably
videos.
he
Haven't
probably
been sued yet.
he probably does. But the fact that this Italian little plumber that you like to dress up as and do funny stuff was created by this wonderful man who also created
Yeah,
Zelda. Um, Really, I think it takes a lot of imagination to be able to create a character like Mario. Now let's go
absolutely.
back in time and remember that before he was even Mario, he was Jumpman in the original
Yep.
Donkey Kong, and this is his first appearance. Everybody, from what I know, is that officially the
Yeah.
first appearance of Mario was as Jumpman. Because what did he do in this game? He jumped. And obviously, if you got a weapon like the sledgehammer, you could slam things. But the whole idea of this was to climb up ladders and jump and save the princess, right? And you know what? It's really interesting we bring this up is that we were talking about story in video games with Retro Game Brews, which is a guy from Twitter. And we were talking about how you know exactly what the story is here. You're saving the princess from some crazy donkey. I'm sorry, not donkey. A gorilla that stole. Well, he is Donkey Kong that stole the princess. But what is the way you see Mario here? How do you feel about this character when you saw it in Donkey Kong?
Well, in fact, Donkey Kong was probably the first unofficially official Mario game I played. I had the Game and Watch, the little orange thing.
Yes.
Although it didn't really look like Mario, it was more of
Here it is.
There you go. So that was my first. I mean, I'd seen the arcade. I think the fish and chip takeaway place in London I used to go to had the arcade machine in there. But it's iconic. I love playing Donkey Kong. I still play it on my Switch. Or prior to that, I use a lot of emulation because buying physical games is really expensive. But I love playing Donkey Kong. I even like the math one as well. I think the whole series is great. I'm looking at Mario there. It's his first introduction. I guess, Nintendo didn't really know or anticipate that little guy was going to become a big star. And I guess at the time also they didn't really give many characters like an official name or an identity. So he was kind of.
This is him in Donkey Kong Jr., which came out a couple of years later. As you see, he still looks like Jumpman, but he's starting to progress a little bit.
Absolutely, and flipped as well.
Yeah, that's true. And then next in the line is a game that I played in the arcade was the actual Mario Brothers, which is where you actually are playing as I think there's a 2-player, right? We could play as Mario and Luigi. This is when Mario starts to form even more. Now he has brown hair, he has the mustache. He looks very much like a Mario, right? And let me see what year this is. This year
83
is 83. Wow, good job. Yeah, this is 83. This is Mario Brothers the arcade. So they're starting to realize that there's a character here that we could utilize in multiple games, obviously. Then comes another Game & Watch game called Mario Cement Factory, which I don't know if you played this one, but this also was apparently Mario as well, but in Game & Watch form again. And then we move on to his next appearance is in Pinball. In 1984. And there he is again appearing. And Nintendo is now obviously utilizing the Mario brand more and more. But then what happens, my friend? We're introduced to one of the greatest games ever created in the history of video games in the universe. When aliens come down to our planet, they're going to say and notice that every human touched this game in some form or fashion. I'm totally exaggerating.
Absolutely.
But you know what I'm talking about.
No, my grandparents even had a go on it. I think there's a possibility that, I don't know, 98% of existence has had a go on it.
I wish we can do that stat where we could figure out how many humans that existed percentage played this. I would say, I'm going to be realistic and say that 59% of all humans have played Super Mario Brothers. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe I'm being it's more than half, I think. I'm totally making that up, but
absolutely.
After that, you know what he appeared in? Mario Golf, not Mario Golf. This was actually Golf, and there was
Golf, yeah.
And there he is. That's him. A little heavier. He drank a little bit too many beers and had a lot of food. Mario looks
spaghetti.
Like he was very much relaxed and playing golf. After this, let's see. The golf was 1985. I might have skipped tennis. Oh, there's Wrecking Crew.
Oh, yeah.
1985, which was a good game. I liked this game. Did you play this game?
Yeah, not at the time, but I have it.
Very good game.
Switch online stuff, and it is cool. But I have the feeling that when this came out, it was obviously the same year as Super Mario Brothers. That I think it became a bit of an overshadow. It was probably overshadowed a bit, and then overlooked. And
then in 1986, he gets reintroduced to the Game & Watch brand, which obviously he looks a lot better, and you could tell it's him in this one.
Yeah, I always wanted one of those. I never got one.
This one to me is like the way we see Mario just today, even. Like that's like pretty much his look. I mean, that's him. Yeah. And this was in 1986. And then 1987, there was an interesting version of Mario that came out. It was called Mario Brothers 2 on the Commodore 64. The sequel to the original Mario Brothers was only released on the Commodore 64 and bore a little resemblance to the original game. Due to the Commodore 64 being less powerful than the NES, Mario and Luigi were not as defined as in the console games. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't. I've never seen this before.
Isn't this crazy? I didn't really know about it either.
It looks
but
cool.
It's so cool. It's really really a simple game though. But basically, you're just giving Luigi is bringing the bottles to Mario, and Mario has to put the bottles in the truck for delivery.
Yeah.
Pretty simple there. Obviously, we cannot forget that he was the referee in.
I think that's Ron Jeremy. I don't think that's Mario.
This is Mario. 1987. 1987, we see Mario again as a ref. He's going to come in here in a second once this. Once our buddy knocks him down. Here he is. Look at him.
It's a goal.
He looks typical Mario, and I love how they were utilizing him in multiple ways. Like,
Yeah.
Then the real Super Mario Bros. 2 came out on NES. Not my favorite. Not my favorite.
No, it was very weird. When I first played
one.
I thought, what the hell? But I do actually like it. I do enjoy it. I find the music quite cool. But
it was
this...
in 1988 when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out. This is really what changed the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, you see, we didn't get this until 1991.
Oh wow!
Which is a bit sad because I'd seen Wizard. That was my first introduction to Mario 3.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's on Netflix at the moment. I have watched it a couple of times since, but watching that back in the day and seeing Mario 3, it was like, I so want this game. I want to try and get this flute. That was the first thing I went and went and tried when I did get it. But out of all the Mario games, I mean, the 3 Mario World are probably my
Super Mario Bros. 3 is probably one of the best Mario games ever made. Probably.
Yeah.
This one, believe it or not, was amazing. Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, and then Super Mario Land 2 as well. They really figured out how to bring Mario to the Game Boy. And
yeah,
I must say that this needs its.
This is actually my favorite one.
This is so good. This is so good.
I love Mario Land. And have you ever tried the remake or somebody's remastered it as a project? That's awesome as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen that. I love Game Boy. Original Game Boy was like one of my favorite things. And this was great. And then we're in 1989 now. Now we're gonna move to 1990 when we see our wonderful Super Mario a little bit more colorful and on the Super NES. Beautiful game, Super Mario World for the Super NES. I love the cape, obviously. That's a great one. Then moving on from there, he made an appearance in Dr. Mario. Obviously, if you ever played Dr. Mario, here he is. The game is called Dr. Mario. What year are we in? 1990. We've made it into the 90s now with Mario, and already we have seen a lot of use of the character. And Rock and Roll Geek says the sequels in that era were too experimental. A Doki Doki Panic Mario 2 and a side-scrolling Zelda 2. But Nintendo, as we know, loves taking risks. No, that's a very, very good point. Very good point.
It is. You don't know until you try. And if they were to stick with the same formula, then I think the franchises would have kind of become a bit stale very quickly.
Yes, and then obviously he comes around again in golf, but this time it's NES Open Tournament Golf in 1991, and obviously Mario's not as heavy anymore. And he looks a little younger.
I think he's got used to hitting the ball a bit further. So he's getting more exercise now. So
much more exercise. And then Yoshi on the NES is one that needs to be mentioned. And here's where Mario is down here. That's a good one. And then let's see. We are in 1991. We're going to 1992 now, which obviously how could we talk about him and not mention the amazing Super Mario Kart, which wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the Mario character and the whole Mario brand. I mean, this is his universe here. This is when the metaverse starts to open up. This is when it really gets interesting with the Mario character.
Absolutely.
Moving on from there, we have Mario Paint. which
Yeah.
definitely gets a nod and was really, really revolutionary for its day and really fantastic. The things people were doing in this game in
Yeah.
1992. Crazy. Moving on to Mario is Missing, which is one I never played. And I don't know if you ever played this on the Super NES.
No. I've tried it. I wasn't very interested. I'm I'm not really into like the kind of stop start. I know it's very educational, but with like say for example the RPG one,
We're
I'm
gonna
not
get to
very
that. Yep.
yeah, I'm not very good with stuff like that. I like Paper Mario as well. We'll get to that, but I'm not really a fan.
So here we have Super Mario All Stars for the Super NES in 1993. Okay, one that I played and was it was fine. Nothing like blew my mind with this one.
No.
Let's see. The next one, of course, how could we forget
Oh.
the Virtual Boy and Mario Tennis, which, believe it or not, this is the best Virtual Boy game. Mario
Oh
Tennis
wow.
was actually really good, in my opinion. Let's see what year we're in now. We're in 1995. Ooh, I must be in, I'm a freshman in high school, I think. Yeah, freshman in high school at this point.
Okay.
In my timeline. Uh,
Yeah.
of course, one of my favorite games of all time, Mario 64. Cannot
I'm
forget.
quite a late comer to the N64 games. And by that point, I'd got a Super Nintendo quite late. I think I got it 94. But then I moved on to PC games. The Nintendo 64 in the UK was so expensive. The
Really?
games were ridiculously pricey and really hard to come by as well. I'd play GoldenEye at friends' houses, and it was like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not as cool as Doom. Like graphic wise, I thought Doom was just insane at the time. And then you had like Duke Nukem stuff like that.
I'm like you. I started getting into the PC games. I mean, I was playing like all kinds of stuff, like TIE Fighter
Yeah,
versus X-Wing and
yeah, that's it.
Diablo 1 and 2, StarCraft and Warcraft, the original Warcrafts.
Wing Commander.
Wing Commander. By the way, last week we had the
I saw.
sound designer from Wing Commander, which was so much
Yeah.
fun. He had some really funny stories, man.
Oh, that's cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, you had that kind of video that where Sega CD were going with games. You had that on the PC.
Yep.
I didn't have a Sega CD, but you had that kind of the more realism coming out, and the Nintendo kind of. I felt like I'd moved on from it. I'd play my Game Boy. I'd still play Super Nintendo and stuff, but I just wasn't really sold by how pricey everything was.
Yeah.
And versus how it looked compared to PC games. But I've changed since. I'm not really a PC gamer. I've moved on to gone back to consoles, and but it was a phase of my late teens. I was getting into heavy metal and girls, and games came as a low priority.
I know. No, I totally get that. I think video games started to mature in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like in an adult, there started to be this like, hey, maybe we should get away from just the colorful, fun, fanatical Mario Brothers and Nintendo style, and let's get into some heavy Doom and like killing and stuff. And like, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
That as you know, video games have evolved that way where there's always the Nintendo branded games forever. There are always going to be these games available, right? And that's not just Nintendo anymore. It's other publishers make games like this now.
Absolutely, and they have, and they should. You've always got to keep to the roots, I guess, of as to where it all began. I love Nintendo. When I bought my Switch, I wouldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down.
Rock and Roll Geek says the Yoshi NES game was always weird to me that they would backport a new character to a last-gen console, something you'd never see today. Very true. Then he says Wario Land was probably the best Virtual Boy game in my opinion. You're right. Mario Land was the best game, but Mario Tennis was fun. Soul Maria, what's up? She says Mario 64, yes, and then Biff Buffington says Team Sewer Shark in reference to Sega CD. And
Yeah.
here we are. In what year are we now? We've moved up to, as we've been talking, I've been kind of upgrading as we go. I think Super Smash Brothers for the N64. I forget
97,
no,
98.
2000. Wait, no, that's the GameCube. 98, I think.
Yeah.
Am I missing it? Where did it go? I think so. I think because it came out on the GameCube in 2001. But I mean, regardless, this needs to be mentioned. You know, we
Completely. Because I did skip the 64, and then the GameCube became.
you got a GameCube?
Yeah, when I saw Star Wars Rogue Squadron,
Oh,
that
great game!
sold it to me.
I have that game.
So awesome.
I have it behind me somewhere.
Yeah.
Then there was Super Mario. Since we're on the GameCube, Super Mario Sunshine, which I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah, very different, but again, that's Nintendo being risky and trying things, and it proved to be a good move.
So this is 2002. I am in college at this point, maybe. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I think so. That was like because it's funny, we're going through like the evolution. It's really intriguing to see how many games this guy was in. I mean, it's ridiculous how many games.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We've actually skipped a mini era of Mario games, which we don't have to talk about.
No, I know.
No, there's experience in.
There's a ton of games. I'm kind of broad stroking through the evolution.
Yeah, no,
trust me.
We just skipped Phillips completely. You know, that was just.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe Miyamoto had to buy, pay off his house or something, and give up the rights for Mario and Zelda for a year. I don't know. Because Philips CDI looked horrendous.
So here is, I'll pull it up. This is I think the Hotel Mario for Philips CDI. Oh, what is this?
Oh,
what was that? Well, this is it.
Go.
Here we go. Oh, this is a weird.
See, that kind of looks cool, but when you see like the cutscenes and. I mean, it looks like a remake of an old, like a pre-Super Mario Brothers game.
That's a good fun fact for my TikTok about this whole thing. Good job for reminding me of this whole deal. I forgot all about this.
I was thinking actually, I've got my my pestle and mortar on the floor for my next TikTok. So I don't know, the last one where I crush Fortnite. I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Give me a bit of. Brief for
here's
Fortnite.
the cutscenes.
Yeah, it makes I don't know, it just looks horrendous.
It was really weird.
Yeah, it's quite creepy looking.
It's a really weird cartoon. I mean, I give them props for trying to make like some kind of like good cutscene here, but it's really weird.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of cutscene if they ever put Mario in like a Cuphead game.
Yeah,
I think that would be incredible.
That would be really
Mario
cool.
and Cuphead. That would be insane, but I can never see that.
Like a dark version of Mario, like a twisted like take on Mario. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
They should do like a Halloween version game.
Yeah, Luigi and Mughead. I've got to go and save Mario and Cuphead from the devil and Bowser's wife. I don't know.
So this is
something crazy.
This is new Super Mario Brothers for the DS. I can't forget the DS, and this was a very good game.
Yeah,
very good game.
I absolutely loved this when it came out, and the same for the Wii as well. They had gone back to how Mario games, how I was introduced to them, and they're really fun. Mario Deluxe for the Wii U gets a lot of stick. I really enjoy it.
It was such a good game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I thought it was a great game. I think
Absolutely.
I have that somewhere here. Oh, no, this is Galaxy. Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Let me pull that up. Super Mario Brothers Wii U. It was really good.
Absolutely. And the Luigi entity of
like
the
when
series as well.
When you beat that game, I think they unlocked the Luigi game. I was pretty sure. And you could play the whole game as Luigi. and it was all focused around. This is one of the
Yeah.
best iterations of a side-scrolling version of Super Mario Brothers. I am gonna give this game props where it's due.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm glad they've been porting the Wii U games across to the Switch.
They
I
should.
didn't have a Wii U. I just found it too expensive again, and I was into my Xbox One and no, 360 actually, when it was still 360. And I really wanted a Wii U, but I just found the price to be a bit too ridiculous. But prior to that, there's the Wii, and I absolutely love the Wii. Elements of it, there's things I don't like with the controls.
I need to
same
do
with
an
the DS.
episode about the Wii U. We've talked about it on here, and
Yeah.
I actually think that it had some great games.
It was a good blueprint for the Switch, I think.
Oh yeah,
It was a good
it
little
was
tester.
necessary. And I mean, look, we can't in this whole conversation, Super Mario Galaxy is another game where it was a risk take, where they decided to do Mario in a different way, and they did it. They hit a home run here. The style, the art in this game, the graphics, I think they really hit it home with this game, and that goes for the sequel too. Super Mario Galaxy definitely was a risk in a way of playing this game with the nunchucks in a really fun way. So we can't forget about that game. And we're getting close to our day. And here's a game, Super Mario and Sonic Olympic All-Stars or whatever, at the Olympic Games, I guess, for the Wii.
Yeah, this was a mind blowing.
This is mind blowing.
Because Mario and Sonic, they were rival consoles, and now
here they are.
They've got a game together. Yeah, and it's beautiful to see.
So I'm going to read verbatim from this article. No one would have thought in 20 years that Mario's main platform gaming rival Sonic the Hedgehog would one day be headlined in a game together. And just like you said, here they are.
Yeah,
now it's normal. Now it's like a normal thing.
It is. Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, go away now, Sonic. But at the time, I thought, oh my gosh. I never thought I'd see that, and it's a good thing to see. It kind of breaks up the game wars and the console wars, and it's a little kind of, I think the moral of it is a bit of peacemaking too, and maybe a bit of sympathy for Sega losing out on their, sort of moving away from the console thing. Purely to make money.
And by the way, I'm showing Mario Galaxy 2 here, which was a beautiful game. Beautiful game. Is.
I actually prefer that one to the first one.
Yeah, no, they definitely made the second one like just even more, like just a great and just that much better,
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay, we're getting as you know, we're getting closer to the end here, and we're gonna move on to the next one, which I pulled up, which was. I think Super Mario Land. This is the one for the Wii U that I wanted. That I thought was really amazing. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Is this the one?
The 3D? Yeah. 3DS?
No, is this 3DS? Yes, 3DS one. Yes, I think so.
Yep.
Yes, this is the 3DS one.
Yep. A great game as well. Same with World and the latter Bowser's Fury. And it's another progression of Mario, or the evolving Mario titles where it's 3D and 2D elements, and take like a progression from Galaxy, I guess. It's very frustrating.
And the raccoon, the raccoon was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. That's not moving on. This is moving. This is what the one I wanted to show. I'm sorry. This is Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U, which is a fantastic game. And done in a different style. It's not a complete open world type of game, but it's beautiful. It is a beautiful, fun, fantastic game, and does not get enough praise.
No, absolutely.
This is a great game, man. Wow, look how pretty it was.
Yeah, I just think I just don't think enough people bought the console to experience it.
Look at that.
So hopefully
So
now,
much fun.
It's on the Nintendo Switch.
It's on the Switch
starting
now,
to discover this, and it'll become like a cult classic.
It's so cool. And then we're moving to
the
one and only Super Mario Odyssey. What did you think of this?
Incredible. I love it. It's so addictive. It's so satisfying to play. I haven't finished it yet.
So So
I
they
love him.
made an announcement. The group of developers that made this are doing a Donkey Kong, the next Donkey Kong game, by the way. So we might
Cool.
see a version of Donkey Kong in a Odyssey style, which I think would be great. Please,
Yeah,
Donkey Kong
absolutely.
Country it up or do something crazy.
Yeah,
I could do.
definitely.
I should really think about. Don't you think that Donkey Kong is also a character from Nintendo's past that has kind of gone along the evolution of Mario's growth the same way? I feel like
Yeah,
Donkey Kong is fit because they both start in the same game,
yeah,
right? So
um,
and
yeah.
and Princess and the Princess,
Yeah.
all Donkey Kong.
Well, Donkey Kong, it was Pauline. That was like it. I refer to Pauline as like Mario's first
I
girlfriend.
guess so, but I guess you're right. It really wasn't Peach, but it was.
Well, it could be Peach Pauline. We just don't know what Peach's first name is.
I
Peach could
guess
be a second name.
you think it is Pauline
It could
Peach.
be.
They've
Could
never
be.
said that. That's a really interesting theory.
Princess Pauline Peach. I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe she wasn't the princess at the time. Maybe she married into
Yeah,
royalty.
we never
We don't
really
know
got
about
an
it.
answer to Peach. Like, it totally could be they call her Princess Peach, but that might be like her last name and a
Yeah.
or nickname.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
if
And there could be a backstory to why she's called Peach, because she's got a big skirt on. We don't really see what it's covering up. Uh, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm going into rude Super Lit Mario again. Um,
but I mean, listen, man, that's the evolution. We've gone through it in just 20 minutes.
yeah.
And the show is only an hour. I could talk to you forever. But
Absolutely.
I
We'll have to do it again sometime.
yeah,
Definitely.
dude, I think we covered a lot today. And I just want just if you could for the audience, let us know where
Yeah, sure.
we can find you and what's all your stuff. Tell me your stuff.
Oh, well, like the social network,
Yeah.
social platform. So obviously there's TikTok. You can find me at Superlit Mario. Instagram. In fact, if you go to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, OnlyFans,
You have an OnlyFans?
I do.
You do not.
So, yeah. so basically, somebody commented once saying, "What do you look like without a mustache?"
So it's on your
Um,
OnlyFans.
so I did an OnlyFans, and I did do a short video. I
Oh
sent
my
it to
God,
private
that's-
afterwards, just to say, if you want to see what my face looks like, if you want to see naked pictures of my face,
That's
go
hilarious.
to my OnlyFans. There's one photo where I didn't have a mustache, so I thought I'd just put it up there for a joke.
That is funny.
And if anyone asks, then I can sort of divert them to that. I don't push the OnlyFans. It's not a paid thing. It's free. I'm not into that kind of thing. But yeah, so there's Twitch, YouTube. My YouTube's grown pretty cool as well.
Nice, man.
I've recently hit the partner thing, so I can sort of stick adverts on my videos, which is amazing. I never dreamed like a year ago that I'd be able to do stuff like that, or have so many followers on TikTok. I'm not too. Yeah, it's great to hit these numbers, but I don't see them as numbers. I see this as like appreciation, and it's just a number of people that appreciate what I do, and they take the time out to watch my videos, comment,
Yeah,
maybe messages, watch live stuff, and I'm just fully appreciative of everything, and I can't believe that people still watch my stuff and haven't annoyed everyone yet.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm in the retro gaming community, obviously, and you're a part of that in a lot of ways because of your character. And
yeah,
it's great to have you on the show and even talk about the character that your persona is based on. I think that was fun.
No problem. I didn't really cover too much about the actual character. It is just I don't really know what to say, to be honest, because it is just an evolve. My Mario evolves, sort of weekly, daily, monthly into something more vulgar and grotesque. And
Yeah.
I'll continue to go that way until Nintendo tell me not to. But I mean, the whole reason why I've sort of come out more with my normal voice and more casually dressed is to try and be more myself as well as just the character that I pursue. So in case Nintendo did ever turn around and go, like, you got to stop.
Well, you know what? I appreciate coming on. And what we're going to do is we're going to raid someone random today on the retro channel. So we'll raid a random retro streamer today that I don't know. And we're going to start the weekend. I know it's later there in the UK, but I'm actually having an announcement for the podcast, and that goes for everyone in VOD land. Thank you so much for coming on. I do have an announcement that the podcast will be going on hiatus for 2 weeks. I know it's a long time. You're just not going to be able to see me for 2 weeks because I'm going to New York on Sunday to see family. Will not be available on my streaming setup. So I thought that this is a good time to take a break. We've been super lit. We've been basically doing this show for almost 14 months in a row. And it's been really great, and we've really hit a really good stride with getting guests on like you and just really having a great time. And I found someone that's playing Super Mario 64 actually, so we're gonna raid this person. Oh, it's not in English. Who cares? We'll raid them anyway. Screw it. But I want to tell everyone that we will be back. I have a guest coming, and we'll be back at the end. I'm sorry, in the beginning of June with our first guest. And man, thank you so much for coming on today. It was an absolute
thank you
pleasure,
for having
man.
me.
Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine for being invited. I feel really privileged, and I'll set up a show on my Twitch. I also stream on YouTube as well. I do like a dual thing, and we'll get you on there, and
yeah, I want to have a chat. You know me,
cool.
I talk a lot, so this is perfect. So again, man, thank you so much. I love talking about this topic in general. Just talking with you also about all the great stuff that pertains to like TikTok. And I think that we had a valuable conversation about being banned, and that's something I haven't really talked about on the show because it's affected me on Twitter. But we're gonna raid this guy named George Ito Retro. I think he's some kind of international streamer here. Screw it. Give him some love. We'll see you at the beginning of June. I'm taking a break because I need it. I love you all. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much, Super Lit, for coming on. You're the man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're the man.
Have a nice break as well.
Thank you. All right, cool. So we just rated that guy.